you see the Raiders, you start winning, okay? When they face the Raiders in Week 4, they're 8-2 since. This is kind of weird. The Jaguars 5-1 since their Week 9 win at Vegas. The Cowboys still in the playoff hunt since that win on Monday Night Football. So that's good news for the Eagles, okay? Music to Nick Sirianni's ears. The Eagles host the Raiders Sunday, trying to avoid 4 straight losses. That's never happened before since Sirianni took over in 2021. Going to need more than this out of their offense, though. League-high 9 turnovers, only 18 points per game during the losing streak. RC, how do the Eagles bounce back this week?
I mean, if the Eagles can get a mixture of their New York Giants run game and their Minnesota Vikings pass game, then they'd be cooking with grease. But I believe they do need to lead with Saquon Barkley. We saw him get some space against the Los Angeles Chargers, and you saw his skill, his vision, his explosiveness take hold. And then offensively off of that, you want to see Jalen Hurts get into some of the play action game that we saw him have success during the middle of the season, especially utilizing Devontae Smith.
Yeah, this is interesting, too. We're going to throw a tweet up here. Jalen Carter as well as Lane Johnson ruled out for this game. Remember, Jalen Carter had the treatment on his shoulders ahead of the Monday night game last week. Lane Johnson got injured in the game. Landon Dickerson has no injury designation for that game. He's good to go, so at least Landon Dickerson should be playing. All right, how about another offense that's struggling in recent weeks, the Ravens, who are 6-7, just like the Chiefs, by the way. Baltimore has the second most turnovers in the NFL over the last 2 games, both of them losses. Lamar Jackson's completion percentage, also his worst over 2 starts since 2022. Mina, how can the Ravens get back on track this week?
Just hit copy-paste on exactly how the Buffalo Bills offense played this Cincinnati team. That Bills, in that game, the Bills had their highest play action rate of the season, over 50%. Low average depth of target. They weren't trying to force the ball downfield. They were just taking the easy wins against the overmatched Cincinnati linebackers group. When the Ravens played the Bengals, they barely used play action, and Lamar was throwing the ball way downfield. That is not the way against this team. Make it easy on the quarterback. Make it easy on the offense. Copy the Buffalo Bills.
All right, to Chicago now, where 2 teams coming off late-game losses, the Browns and the Bears. Chicago's defense has its upside, but one thing to watch will be deep ball throws. The Bears have allowed the most touchdowns on throws 15-plus yards downfield, along with the Cowboys. Dan, what problems could the Browns pose for the Bears' defense on Sunday?
Yeah, well, I know we all praised Shedeur Sanders last week, the rookie quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, rightfully so. But I would also say they got some other rookies that they got to pay attention to defensively for the Bears. Harold Fenton, their tight end, has been absolutely fantastic. Quinshon Judkins is a young stud at the running back position. Dylan Sampson and the way that he gets his touches as well. So, like, it's not just the young quarterback being the person to pay attention to and focus while he's the guy. Those other young players and rookie offensive skill guys, you got to make sure if you're Chicago, you defend against.
Yeah, Dan, Quinshon Judkins approaching 1,000 scrimmage yards. The last Browns rookie to do that was
Good
Nick
season.
Chubb in 2018.
He's had a good season,
really good. Young stud. Week watching this, Phillip Rivers coming out of retirement nearly 5 years after his final game. Riley Leonard, a full participant in practice. So who's going to get the start on Sunday? Well, here's Colts head coach Shane Steichen earlier today.
I mean, you try to do in this practice as best you can. Obviously, the game's a little different. The game speed will be a little different for him. So that'll be an acclimation period for him, if he's out there. He's not here to save the season. He's here to be a great leader, a great teammate, go out there, operate the offense, get us in and out of the right plays. And that's the process. And that's the way he's taking it and flowing with it one day at a time and going through his process.
The hero, Phillip Rivers. All right, for more on what's going on in Indy, we welcome in our Colts reporter, Stephen Holder. Stephen, what more can you tell us about the Colts' plans at QB this weekend?
Well, Laura, the immediate plan, perhaps happening about right now, is for Steichen and Phillip Rivers to meet and to check some final last boxes, one of which is how does he feel after 3 days of being on the field after literally being on the couch? And as all those 40-something-year-olds out there know, how you feel matters a lot. I can attest. Beyond that, though, we have seen many indications about their plans this week, even if they aren't confirming to their plans to start Rivers. And one of them came from Steichen. He talked about the back and forth between him and Rivers this week in the meeting room. And he went into great detail about how they were ping-ponging, as he said, ideas off each other. And it harkened back to their days with the Chargers, where they both were in the late 2010s when Steichen was an up-and-coming assistant coach, and they would have long periods of banter about football, et cetera. So they got back to that this week, and it was a little bit of deja vu for them. And all of that, it appears, is a step toward getting him ready to play on Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, just great information out of you all week long as you followed this. Thanks to Stephen there. He's saying he knows what it's like to be in their 40s. We got a few people here who know. Actually, I should say a couple, because Mina and I are not there yet. But, RC, whoever's in at quarterback will have to face Seattle's defense. And what makes them such a tough group to go up against?
Honestly, I don't care if you're 24 years old, 34 years old, 44 years old.
Doesn't matter.
This Seattle defense is absolutely scary. The thing I would like about Riley Leonard would be his ability to get out of the way, use him in the run game, to free up Jonathan Taylor a little bit with what he can do with his legs. What scares me with Phillip Rivers isn't just the physicality, it's the multiplicity of the Seattle Seahawks defense and not having seen things at full speed in 5 years for Phillip Rivers. And I think that's going to limit your playbook, and you're not going to want Phillip Rivers to be under center, play action fake, and turn his back to a Mike McDonald defense that could be in totally different places post snaps. And those are the things that make me a little bit nervous about Phillip Rivers starting even beyond the physical.
Yeah, we're talking so much about Phillip Rivers, Riley Leonard, all this. You know, we haven't spent a ton of time on Sam Darnold and that offense for Seattle. What's going to be key for the Colts trying to slow them down?
Yeah, well, I think that's where the onus here resides, because to Ryan's point, I don't have a lot of confidence in Phillip Rivers in this offense against a Seattle defense that is good against all the things Phillip Rivers needs to do. They're second yards per carry against the run. They're second best defense in the NFL against quick game, all the stuff we expect the Colts to go with. So a lot of pressure to me is on Lou Anarumo to replicate some of the game plans that have given Sam Darnold trouble this season. The Rams, Brian Flores and the Vikings, exotic pressures, getting pressure particularly on the interior of that offensive line, getting him to hold on to the football and make bad decisions. The best support that the Colts can give Phillip Rivers this week is field position. So I think for them, it's all about coming up with a game plan to make life harder for Darnold, which, you know, the Colts defense is not anywhere, it's not as good as the Vikings, certainly not the Rams. But Lou Anarumo can cook up some stuff that might confuse Sam a little.
Still concerned about Sam Darnold and some of the habits that I've seen from the past creep up. It was the case again last week. I'm still concerned that this team just cannot run the football, and there's way too many negative runs. That being said, I do think we're starting to see the usage and impact of the Shaheed trade.
Yes.
Ever since he's come over, it's, well, how are they going to use him, even with JSN and Cooper Kupp? And you'll see them kind of throw what I call completion plays to him, like, hey, just get the ball into his hands. But then now some of those longer intermediate routes where his speed is allowing to push the defensive backs back a little bit. The use in the motion use and how making sure that they can get him the football in their crossing routes to become a really big part of their plan. So, like, I do love that they're finding ways to use him. I have some concerns the way the quarterback is playing.
Again, the report there from Stephen Holder, they have not said anything official, but all signs pointing to Phillip Rivers making his return to football. And this is another weird one. It's kind of fluky, but the Seahawks just 7-8 at home under Mike McDonald, 13-2 on the road. So they host this one. You never know. Maybe that matters. I don't know what's going on at home. All right, let's talk about the Raiders. They are seemingly